In 2019, a billionaire was having trouble finding a suitable partner. To find someone who wasn't materialistic, he made a deal with the producers of a dating show. He would appear as a regular employee of his own company. After much discussion, the production team accepted his proposal. As soon as he got on stage, he introduced himself as the manager of a hotel's housekeeping department, earning around 5,000 yuan per month. Since he worked in the service industry, he did rotating shifts, and during holidays, the workload increased, leaving him with less time for his family. "I want to find a girl who's willing to build a future together with me," he said. Right after he finished speaking, the female participants began whispering among themselves, and some of them immediately turned off their lights. One of them said, "I have a question. Why is it that no one wants to work in manufacturing anymore? That's the real future. The service industry doesn't require any technical skills. He's a hotel manager, and that's probably the ceiling of his career. 5,000 a month? How's he going to support a family?" The man paused for a moment and replied, "You're right. The service industry doesn't require as much technical knowledge, but it's still necessary. Tourism is booming, and where there's tourism, there's a need for hotels. Maybe our impact isn't as big as manufacturing, but we still need to grow. Our jobs are stable, and nowadays there's no such thing as a guaranteed job. If you don't work hard, the market leaves you behind." "Support a family?" one woman repeated. "What exactly does that mean? Where do you usually eat, for example?" If he had said he had morning tea in his own hotel, they would have been suspicious. So he said, "I like to eat luju, a stew of pork offal, especially pork intestines with raw garlic." One woman gasped, "That's disgusting. How can someone eat that, especially with garlic? The smell must be unbearable." The man laughed. "Food is essential. A lot of people enjoy pork intestines. They're nutritious, help with digestion, and have great texture. And if you cook them with chili, Sichuan style, it's even better." As he spoke enthusiastically about the dish, more and more lights went off. One woman commented, "You're unbelievable. How can you like something like that? And you expect to impress a girl by taking her to a street food stall? That's not sincere at all." Her opinion was supported by several others, but the man calmly replied, "Life needs to be grounded. Eating out sometimes is fine, but going to expensive restaurants all the time? Even high earners can't afford that. And honestly, many dishes taste better in small, authentic places. Fancy restaurants often don't prepare them properly." Another participant mocked, "You're only saying all this because you're poor. You probably walk around the city looking for cheap street food. Instead of earning more, you just focus on saving pennies. A guy like you can't even afford 4 proper dishes." She turned off her light. The man smiled and replied, "Is saving money something to be ashamed of now? Since when did being careful with your finances become a flaw?" He tried to continue, but another woman interrupted. "Women's youth is short. What's wrong with wanting a refined life? I love luxury. I earn 3,000 yuan a month, but I spend over 10,000. If my parents didn't complain, I'd easily spend 30,000. The man, stunned, asked, "How do you manage to spend that much?" She proudly answered, "You don't buy clothes? Last year's clothes don't match who I am this year. You have to buy what's in season, not discounted items. And every woman needs at least one designer handbag. You can't even repeat the same bag at 2 different gatherings. That would be embarrassing. And don't get me started on skincare. Every season requires different products. With all of that, how could someone with a 5,000 yuan salary ever support me?" The man, surprised, replied, "With that level of spending, I definitely couldn't support you. For me, eating at a street stall is a treat. I usually cook at home to save money, and I still manage to save a little each month." The participant scoffed. "Knew you were that type. I've heard some rich men pretend to be poor to see if women are gold diggers, but you're not fooling anyone. With that style of yours, it's clear you're not rich." "I just wasted my time." She turned off her light. The man responded, frustrated, "Since when are people's worth measured by their income? We're all equal. That's what I was taught." She replied with disdain. Equality? Not everyone deserves respect. I only respect the rich. I live in a luxury villa community. If it weren't for this show, you would have never even met me. He answered, If you live in a mansion, good for you. Everyone has their own life, but all people should be respected. You were lucky to be born at the right time. You should be grateful. She sighed. It's not even mine. I rent it. I was hoping to meet a rich guy and marry into money, but they're all too busy or already married. No time to even talk. The man chuckled. Maybe the issue isn't time. Maybe you're not the kind of woman they want. If they were interested, they'd make time. Offended, she shot back. What do you know, garlic breath guy? Rich men have plenty of women around them. I'm gorgeous, they're just busy. Once they're free, they'll fall for me. The man didn't argue further. He simply said, Marriage is for life. If you're so confident in your looks, maybe think about what's missing for someone rich to choose you. At that moment, another woman spoke. I actually like pork intestines too. I just worry about hygiene, so I cook them at home. I work in a factory, earn about $6,000 with overtime, and I'm happy. I want to keep studying, understand the world better, and find someone who's willing to build a life together. Someone mocked her. You two are perfect for each other. Even your breath matches. But she replied calmly, Everyone has their own value. My parents worked hard to raise me, and I want to give back. I'm not special, but I believe the world is beautiful, and everyone deserves respect. The man was moved. She turned on her light and said, Thank you. I just want a simple man to build a life with. The host, excited, asked if she had any questions. Shy, she asked. When do you want to get married? I don't think dating should drag on for too long. He smiled. 6 months to a year sounds about right. They held hands, happy. Then the host said, Now that you're together, why don't you tell her who you really are? The man, a little shy, revealed, I'm actually the general manager of the hotel. It belongs to my family. We have our own luxury restaurant in it. My annual income exceeds 10 million yuan. But even so, I still love eating pork intestines at street stalls. The women who had mocked him turned pale. Several showed regret. The couple left the stage together, watched with envy. The truth is, to have a happy marriage, you just need to find the right person. The man understood human nature, that's why he hid his identity. And in the end, he found someone kind, humble, and with values that matched his own. The most curious thing on that dating stage wasn't the simple man who ate pork intestines. It was the reaction of those who claimed to be looking for true love, yet turned off their lights at the first whiff of garlic. They said they wanted honesty, but all they saw were brand labels. They talked about the future, but only asked about the present, more specifically, about his bank balance. They criticized his salary, his lifestyle, even his food choices, but none of them seemed to reflect on their own values. While the man spoke about hard work, respect, and building a life together, the response was, You're poor, and I'm into luxury. And just like that, one by one, they turned off their own chances of meeting someone who was truly worth it. There was one woman bragging about spending 10,000 a month while earning only 3,000, and she still thought he was the problem. Another dreamed of marrying rich while renting a villa, thinking being in a millionaire WhatsApp group was enough to make her a socialite. They dream of marrying a man of value, but when that value comes dressed in simplicity, they treat it like trash. And then, the only one who kept her light on was the one no one expected, the factory worker. The woman working shifts, cooking her own meals, saving money, sending part of it to her parents, and still dreaming of a better life. She wasn't disgusted by the dish. She wasn't afraid of simplicity. Because those who are used to fighting know how to recognize another fighter from afar. And it was her who walked off stage hand in hand with the billionaire all the others had rejected. Irony? Maybe. Justice? Absolutely. In the end, love doesn't live in fancy restaurants or designer handbags. It lives in respect, in shared effort, and in the humility of knowing that no one is better than anyone else. And no matter how hard some people try to turn love into an auction of appearances, there will always be someone who sees value where others only see price. If you liked this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel for more stories like this, and of course, drop a comment below. Would you have turned off the light or held his hand? See you in the next video.